So let me, the next part is the third CSS that I'm going to talk to you about. It's called the Inline, I-N-L-I-N-E, Inline. And the inline has the highest precedence. It will override the external. It overrides the internal or embedded, and it will override the external as well. So I'm going to take the same file that we just did here, this internal CSS, internal underscore CSS. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do File, Save As. I'm just going to take its file structure with it. So instead of calling it internal here, I'm going to change this word internal to inline. All right, underscore CSS. All right, and it changes if you notice. I went inline with this, and I'm just going to edit some of the stuff in here so we can actually see a little bit better. All right, bear with me for a moment. Let me edit some of the stuff that we have right here with it. I'm going to probably leave this right here with it, but I will. Let me do this. So here is a regular H1 tag that I have, right? That I have up here with it. So I want to come into the body. This is where the inline comes in, right? I want to put it right above here. I'm going to write an inline of an H1 tag that's going to override this set of parameters that we have. All right. So this is more closer to the object with this. So I'm going to do H1 space. I'm going to give it an attribute of the style attribute with it. This time I'm going to put in the quotes in here with it. I'm going to give it a color. Remember, the original color is black, right? So I'm going to change the inline tag for this one. Let's call this thing, since we have it here, let's call it medium blue. All right, medium blue. Come to the right of that semicolon with it. I'm going to tell it to do text. Text. I'm going to call this thing text align center with it. So a little different than what we have been used to in the other ones. That's what I'm going to close that tag off, and I'm going to call this one, this is an inline H1 heading. Okay, so we I close off that tag right there for a moment. Let me back up for you to see what I just did with it. And one more thing I didn't show you, of course, is we still have our. I'm just do a paragraph tag, just your regular paragraph tag in this, and I'm going to do another one. It's called the paragraph tag called style, similar to the same parameters what we just looked at up here with it. And this time, anytime when you call it style, I'm going to call this thing, let's give it a color. I'm going to give this thing red. Alright, semicolon, close off your properties with it, come over to the right, close that tag off, and you can start saying this is an inline paragraph content. How's that? So just to clarify with it, so this is the internal. That's for the entire. This is going to be this internal, and the moment I'm going to put this is the inline, and it's closer to. This is the object. The object is the sentence here. This is an inline H1 heading. It's closer to this. It's going to be medium blue. Text is aligned center with it. So I'm going to save it. Control S saves it. That little white circle goes away with it. And I'm going to right mouse click on it, open with live server with it. Let me bring that in. So this is the inline one right here. The top line that you see here, this is the internal. This is the regular embedded one, the internal one. As you can see, this is the inline H1 with it. So this is the inline that overrides your embedded. And this is my paragraph tag that I wrote here. This is an inline paragraph content that I changed to a different color with this as well. I gave it a red color with it. So that's what this whole exercise is for you to see, is what's taking place here difference between an external, an internal, and an inline. This concludes the third section of the CSS, and it will conclude this part of the CSS part with it as well. Thank you.